rain has definitely picked up. So the heavier part of the storm, I guess, is approaching. The lightning is also increasing. And probably not a smart thing to be standing by the window.
Stormy weather was fast approaching at the end of the prior episode, and I decided to drive the day's final 30 miles straight to Tulsa where I was staying. Few people were driving, the rain didn't seem bad, so I cruised a little past the hotel and into downtown before heading to my room. I realized I had probably been too ambitious planning all the stops I had wanted to make for the day. There were so many places I needed to backtrack and find, and the next day was to rain as well. On this night, what I thought was simply a garden-variety thunderstorm became something more.
Well, my phones just went off. The tornado siren is going. You know, it's nighttime, so you can't see anything like that, which makes it worse. Plenty of lightning in the sky. But the phones went off probably 1 minute before the outside sirens. So clearly the weather folks are seeing something. It's 9:55 p.m. local time. And the warning is out for 20 minutes. Welcome to the Midwest. Downtown Tulsa is to the left of me. That's west. Actually, what you're looking at down here is part of Route 66. Now, I don't know if that means there's no threat. Whatever was there has passed. I'm not used to tornado sirens. Gives you an idea of how hard it's raining. At least it'll wash the dust off my car, huh? Oh, here we go again. Well, I guess that's it. Show's over.
I had become caught in the drapes and knocked over a lamp. You'll understand why a little later when I show you the room. Well, good morning from rainy, stormy, cloudy Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was quite a storm last night. In fact, they told me at the front desk that there was a tornado that had touched down not too far from here. So, thankfully, everything's fine. Car is fine. Hotel is fine, I'm fine. I think even where the tornado touched down, everybody there is fine. So that's good. Safety first. Should this be the first episode of the series that you're watching, I'll tell you that originally I was going to ride my bicycle on Route 66. Yeah, there's a US bike route 66. Because of health logistics, I canceled that trip literally a day and a half before I was to start, and I switched to driving in a car. So rather than going west to east on a bicycle, I'm taking the traditional driving route west on Route 66 from Chicago. I've chosen this 911 because, well, you remember the Disney Pixar animated movie Cars. Sally Carrera was one of the main characters. And in the spirit of Sally Carrera, well, I'm driving a Carrera across Route 66. I'm also not taking the Cayenne and the trailer for this trip because in the spirit of riding a bicycle, it would have been an extremely granular trip. I would not have strayed far off the mother road, if at all, on a bicycle. So driving Route 66, I'm really not getting off of the mother road. I'm just looking at the sites that are along it, and believe me, it is packed with things to see. You can't see it all. I can stick a camera through the roof and just be filming the whole way, and I'll still miss things. Also, I'm able to stay in a lot of the classic hotels and motels and easily stop at the restaurants along the way that are still open on Route 66, and there are plenty of them. Taking the car is allowing me to be more nimble on Route 66. There's a lot of backtracking, and I'm able to turn around very quickly. I couldn't do that so easily with the trailer. We'll see what we see. It's a fun trip. A lot of great sights already from Chicago to Tulsa, and looking forward to seeing what's next down Main Street of America. I didn't quite make it to Tulsa in the last episode because of darkness and rain. I ended in Chelsea, so let's backtrack a little bit and begin this episode there. The Pryor Creek Bridge is now 100 years old. This has stood since the highway was commissioned. Pretty cool. This bridge looks like it could easily last another 100. I think I'm under that for this trip. Pryor Creek Bridge was built in 1926 and carried U.S. Highway 66 traffic from the start. A new alignment of 66 bypassed the bridge in 1932, significantly reducing the traffic across it, and perhaps what has actually helped preserve it for a century. The bridge is 123 feet long, with a total width of 19 feet, of course less for the road deck. The bridge is the only remaining unaltered modified Pratt through truss design in Oklahoma. Chelsea dates to 1882, incorporated in 1889 when Oklahoma's very first oil well was drilled just to the southwest of town. This is Will Rogers' country. The highway is named after him, and it's said he visited his sister often at her home in Chelsea. I don't know about your kicks, but you'll definitely get your steps. We saw a smaller version of an underpass tunnel in Odell, Illinois. Route 66 got so busy that in 1930 Chelsea built this tunnel, an underground passage so people could get back and forth rather than try to cross the busy Route 66. This mural is way cool. And you can see there was some graffiti on the other side, but Chelsea has kept it painted over. Yeah, there's the other side. What is now modern Oklahoma 66 completely bypasses this tiny town. The small portion of the original highway remains as a main street. Although it's one of the smallest towns along all of Route 66, this one has a special connection that stretches across the entire country. Yes, coast to coast. This is a statue of Andy Payne. In 1928, the Great Transcontinental Foot Race was held from Los Angeles all the way to New York. Between March and May 1928, Andy Payne ran 3,422 miles, averaging 40 miles a day. Incredible. The majority of the route between Los Angeles and Chicago was, of course, on Route 66, taking Andy Payne right by his hometown of Foyil. And you thought my idea of riding a bicycle across the country was crazy. Andy, of Cherokee ancestry, won $25,000 for his run. He paid off the family farm and went into business. Fun fact, I've run 28 marathons, but that pales in comparison to running across the country. I'd like to know more about his running shoes, because certainly the technology of running shoes was nothing compared to what it is today. 1928? Wow. No wonder this race is known as the Bunyan Derby. Need to pull your socks up. This section of old Route 66 is known as Andy Payne Boulevard. Just think, Andy Payne actually ran over this pavement. This folk art masterpiece is Ed Galloway's Totem Pole Park, 11 elaborately decorated concrete teepee towers, and one ornate building on 14 acres. This park is about 3.5 miles east of Route 66 and Foyil, and it was added to the National Register of Historic Places back in 1999. Ed Galloway was born in 1880 near Springfield, Missouri, and began showing a talent for wood carving at an early age. He served in the U.S. Army during the Spanish-American War and was later sent to the Philippines, where he saw crocodiles and other creatures that would later inspire his creations. He began carving household objects before his larger art. For over 20 years, Ed Galloway taught wood carving to children in an orphanage in nearby Sand Springs. The centerpiece of Totem Pole Park stands 90 feet tall and took 11 years to complete. Ed also built a stone residence and an 11-sided structure he called the Fiddle House, which contained up to 300 of the musical instruments he had carved. Ed said, "I built these things by the side of the road to be a friend to you." He died of cancer in 1962. The family then donated the property to the Rogers County Historical Society, which currently maintains it. There's an amazing amount of detail to see. Next, heading west is Claremore, the seat of Rogers County, by the way, named for Will Rogers' father, Clem. Claremore is known for a well in the town that produced a dark, foul-smelling water that was referred to as radium water, even though it does not contain the radioactive substance. People felt bathing in it was therapeutic for rheumatism and other ailments. This is the final resting place of Will Rogers, along with an extensive museum and manicured grounds. Will Rogers famously said he never met a man he didn't like. That doesn't extend to museum security, which didn't seem to like my after-hours drive-through. Once popular with bathers, the Will Rogers Hotel is now a senior living facility. This old bridge span, now privately owned, once carried Route 66 traffic. While I can't drive across this one, I can visit two other similar trusses that were once side by side, now flanking the entrance to Rogers Point Park. They were removed when the 4-lane bypass bridge was modernized. You can still see their pavement lines veering left. These twin bridges once spanned the Verdigris River. They took them out. They're now the entrance to Rogers Point Park. They are a unique piece of highway history preserved. Right next to Route 66, look at this little tunnel under the railroad tracks. Literally seen from the road is a beloved attraction, the Catoosa Blue Whale. A new visitor center is being built, likely finished and open by the time you see this. We can see at this particular moment they're renovating the area around the Blue Whale. It's going to be really nice when it's finished. Unfortunately, at the moment, I can't go down to the whale, but we'll see it from up here. This is what it'll look like when they're finished. Well, they were kind enough to let me down here and take a look. There you go, we are inside the Blue Whale. And because of construction, no crowds, nobody at all. Looks like all new Trex planking inside. Very nice. It's the Blue Whale. It's a fun slide. One on either side. You used to be able to go to the top. All right, mission accomplished. We made it to the Blue Whale. Built by Hugh Davis between 1970 and 1972, the Blue Whale was part of a recreational complex. There was, of course, the whale and pond, along with a small zoo. It was a popular stop for locals and travelers for 2 decades. Eventually, it was abandoned, but refurbished in 2010, and now being upgraded with a visitor center. With the Blue Whale, we've got a brown turtle. The old Arrowwood trading post right across the street. I'll be honest, I was so fixated on spotting the whale that I had not noticed the trading post until I was coming up from the pond. Arrowwood opened in 1990. The building goes back to 1952, previously housing the Chief Wolf Road Hunt Trading Post, also known as Catoosa Trading Post. A brief ride past an interstate overpass and surrounding hotels and off-ramp businesses, the highway narrows back to a 2-lane country road heading due west for Tulsa. There's Tulsa in the distance. I'm so used to the hustle and bustle of DC traffic. This is a real pleasure. Even Chicago was nice driving around. Tulsa, there's barely any traffic, and this is the middle of a work week. I'm liking this. Lots of old signs and buildings not in the guides, but clearly in period with the old highway. Oklahoma is very good with Route 66 signage, as it should be. Cyrus Avery was from Tulsa. He was instrumental in establishing Route 66 and making sure the highway went through his state and hometown rather than in a more direct path through southern Kansas, which, by the way, is the direction Amtrak travels until its trains reach Santa Fe. Of course, there are plenty of iconic locations that are listed in the guides. Tulsa is a great Route 66 town. It deserves a little extra attention. Tally's Cafe began over 100 years ago by a man who decided to serve hot food from a horse-drawn wagon. It evolved into an American-style diner, owing much of its early success in the 1950s to the motherroad. After driving more than a third of Route 66, you definitely begin to easily spot old signs and gas stations. This you can't miss. Bama Pies dominates the roadside, a Tulsa-based food manufacturer specializing in ready-to-use bakery products for major chains like McDonald's and Pizza Hut. It was founded in 1927 and has grown to include another major manufacturing plant in, wait for it, Beijing, China. Tulsa is packed with Route 66 stuff, and the hotel that I'm in is a Route 66 classic. So while there's a little bit of light and no storms, let's check out Route 66 along the main strip here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Many current businesses are making these old buildings bright and vibrant with Route 66 style and quirkiness that travelers have enjoyed for years. And of course, there have to be more roadside giants, several owned by a good friend of the Highway Cafe we saw in the previous episode. Here's Rosie the Riveter. Buck Adam, and on the other side, Stella Adam. Beatrice Food Building was demolished in 2004, but its 1930s sign remains on a special support pavilion. Here's Meadow Gold Mac. Cowboy Bob. Downtown's original giants, Art Deco and other big buildings. Doubling back, we're cruising by the Motherroad Market, on the way to perhaps the ultimate giant. The Golden Driller has become an iconic symbol of Tulsa. 75 feet tall, 43,500 pounds. Of course, the Golden Driller is an oil worker. It was built from a steel frame covered with concrete and plaster. It ranks as the 6th tallest statue in the United States. It's been here in front of the Tulsa Expo Center since 1966. How many selfies have been taken in front of this one? Well, you can add another to the list. It's that same golden color I've been seeing and hearing about at several stops before Tulsa. A certain German Trabi being driven across the Motherroad for the centennial. This is Patrick and Torsten from near Hamburg and Dresden, respectively. See, when there's nobody around, just park and then you'll draw a crowd.
We're doing Route 66. We started 1.5 weeks ago in Chicago, and we have 4.5 more weeks to go to Santa Monica.
I may see you there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you will be earlier there than we
perhaps. We'll see. You never can tell driving a car what'll happen. But tell me about your ride, Patrick.
This is the engine. 2 cylinders, 2-stroke, 26 horsepower, air-cooled.
Wow.
And 26 liters gas.
26 is the magic number.
Yes, it is.
Well, you only have to change 2 spark plugs, so that's a plus.
That's right.
This is one of the better engines to work on. You can get to everything. Well, it's air-cooled, that's why. There's so much room.
Yes, right. And we even have a spare part engine, a complete one with us. So it's in the other car and on the back seat. And you can change the engine within 1 hour. It's not a problem. So, and you can handle it. It's only about 50 kilograms, I would say.
That's not bad.
So we have a plan B if something happens with that.
Not many people travel Route 66 carrying a spare engine.
Yes.
What year is this?
It's an 87.
Commonly called a Trabi, it's a Trabant. The name is close to an old German term for companion or satellite, inspired by Russia's Sputnik satellite.
Actually, it looks very comfortable inside.
Yes, it is. The front seats is very comfortable to sit in. In the back, it's a little bit, yes.
Now, is that 88,000 original miles or 88
kilometers?
100. Oh, that's
Kilometers.
okay.
Yes. I think that's true.
Not like 188.
No, not 180.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
You match the statue. You got the right color.
Yes. It's like how they call it, chameleon.
Yes.
A little bit wet because the thunderstorm brought some water inside last night here.
Oh.
Have you been here last night too?
Yes.
tornado warning.
Yes, heard it.
So we have a little problem. We don't know exactly where water is coming in, but on the dashboard underneath, it's wet.
Well, the good thing is when you get to Arizona, it'll dry.
Yes, absolutely.
You've got the best air conditioning. They call it 2 and 60. Yeah.
This boy.
2 down and 60 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
Or what is that? 80 something kilometers an hour?
Yes, 80 kilometers an hour. That's about 45,
Yeah.
50 miles.
Safe travels and
You too. Bye.
Good to see you.
See you.
Have a nice day.
You too.
A full day of driving leads me back to the historic Campbell Hotel.
That's downtown from the hotel, pretty close. Even have their own bike rack. My hotel was once known as the Casa Lama Hotel, roughly translated House on the Hill. It was built in 1927 by Max Campbell, and when Route 66 was realigned to 11th Street 5 years later, this became the first full-service hotel on the route in Tulsa. It's a Spanish mission-style building uniquely configured with 8 retail spaces on the first floor, hotel rooms with in-room baths on the second floor. When the current owners bought this, the place was a shell. They had to totally gut everything. The ceiling was falling down. They rebuilt it, and now it's a nice hotel again. This is the Art Deco room. Nice. With these old wood floors continuing from the hallway. Even has that tight tile. Even the art in the bathroom is interesting. The shades are static, all the way to the floor. You can't open them. The window coverings always remain shut. Little odd. This is the atrium of the second floor, a little business workstation. Even though the hallways are dark, they have these really cool skylights. You can have a banquet, meetings. Look at the mantle on the fireplace. All this original wood flooring. It just softly creaks as you walk across. In the afternoon, you get great sunlight. It's a big couch. Even the entrance to the elevator is elegant. That is an odd door. Well, look who's next to the hotel. It's the Oklahoma Route 66 Association. Now, they seem to be closed, but at least the motherroad's still open. So much for a washout day. You can see how accurate the weather forecast was. But that gave me some time to come through this section of Route 66 in Tulsa at a slower pace, which was good because Tulsa deserves it. This is a really great Route 66 town. And now I'm going to go to the Route 66 market because I'm getting a little hungry. Oh, check these bricks out along the sidewalk. This is really cool. I wouldn't have seen this driving.
Mother Road Market is Tulsa's original food hall with more than 20 businesses with food, souvenirs, and more. Trust me, it's much busier than it appears on camera. Even the restrooms are themed with old Esso gas characters. everything in this town has 66 on it. That was a great cheesesteak. Man, piled it on. And I got a Howdy burger for dinner. My cardiologist is gonna love me. It looks like a little weather's moving in. I'm enjoying a colorful stroll back to my room. I'll do a little video housekeeping for the day, have my big Howdy burger, and then let's go see the downtown sights at night surrounded in classic neon. It's a signature Route 66 vibe. That's all from Tulsa. Thanks for riding along for this segment of the ride on Route 66, America's Main Street, the Mother Road. Much more to come. We'll see you next time. Safe travels, everyone.